Wie kann man das ein Leben lang aushalten? What? And hopefully I'll be able to remember and learn from them. This video is sponsored by Squarespace, my new favorite platform for building beautiful websites and growing your business online. Hello friends, welcome back. I decided to do this intro because this concept is a little unfamiliar. I haven't really done a vlog specifically about what I'm reading about. I've been wanting to do it for a while. I tried to give you an overview of the books I'm reading right now, my thoughts on them, and also my process on taking notes on different kinds of books. So hopefully this is going to be interesting, and otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this vlog, which is basically a week in my life focused on reading and autumn and coziness. So let's go. I'm back inside and I thought I would sort of talk a bit more about these books, because they're both about love. The reason I actually picked up this one was because I was sort of inspired by this one that I just finished. So let me talk about this one second. I found this on my grandma's bookshelf, which also explains why it's in German. Der Lauf der Liebe. You may be more familiar with the title, The Course of Love by Alain de Botton, qui travaille aussi pour School of Life, I think. So you may have watched School of Life videos with him talking, or even seen like him just, I think he has a TED Talk or something, but I heard him speak a couple of years ago and remembered that I was interested in just hearing more about what he had to say about love, and so I'm currently reading this. To me, after reading a book that is based in science a lot more, it felt a bit, I don't know, I was sort of missing this grounding, evidence-based statement of, okay, this is how it usually is, you know, like sort of based on research, which is not what this book is supposed to be. But because I read this one, I was sort of missing that. So I'm kind of struggling to get into it. I'm interested to continue. Maybe I'm just realizing that I sort of prefer self-help books that are more evidence-based. So yeah, let's see how this goes. This book, Attached, is basically a book about attachment theory, about finding your attachment style, and about learning what other attachment styles exist out there, how the dynamics between these attachment styles can unfold. I'm not sure whether this speaks to a broad range of people, but to my anxious babes, if you haven't really read much about this topic yet, I think this is also a great introduction, and hopefully you'll learn more and feel that this has helped you as much as it has helped me. So that is Attached. I feel like here we have a good example of that there are so many different ways to approach this topic. I think I'm going to continue reading this a bit, and then hopefully in these next few days I can give you overviews of the other books that I'm currently reading. Let me read this to you. Oh my god, I haven't read in German for so long. Okay. Aber was im Grunde zur Heftigkeit solcher Debatten beiträgt, ist ein Gedanke, der sich seit neuestem immer wieder einstellt, wenn diese Spannungen aufkommen. Wie kann man das ein Leben lang aushalten? Good question, sir. See, and now we have this cursive sort of explanation from the author. Interesting, interesting. I was working on something and realized that it's kind of book related and it would be interesting to include in this video. as well as a way to introduce another one of the books I'm reading right now. So this is a poetry book by Billy Chapata, who I discovered on Instagram. I would I would literally save each one of their posts that was on my feed. And so when I was looking at books to get, I thought this should be one of them and to read right now in my life. And right now I'm going through it chronologically. I don't know if you can tell. We're about halfway through and just marking my favorite pieces and texts so that in the future I can go through it and enjoy my faves. This is the bookmark that I have right now. So cute. I feel like this work is about self-love and healing a lot. So that's definitely some good nourishment that I need from words. So how I'm further working with this book is actually in Milanote. My Pomodoro timer just went off because I am clearly not working focused. I was supposed to work on this board focused, but then I was like, I need to film this update. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I'm having a lot of fun creating boards for book notes right now because I just enjoy laying out, for example, for this book, writing out some quotes, noting out my favorite pages, and even maybe adding photos in here and just sort of sorting what I'm taking from this book onto a board. So this is one of the books in this video that are more intended to be just read slowly in the background, and other books are more my priority to sort of pace through. Hello from my lunch break. I've got some cream here from a sit that opened. Sorry for the TMI. And I'm just gonna do some reading, like 20 minutes. I really wish I had more time in the mornings. I'm currently working on building my reading habits. It's difficult because I don't even really know when I want to do it. But hopefully you'll see me build that a little bit in this video, because I definitely have some books that I want to get through. Yeah, but now I'm just gonna read this one because it's easy and relaxing, I guess. My chair is here right now because I'm also filming another video and I don't know where to put my feet. Like, usually put them on my table. Okay. Good morning, y'all. I'm making hard choices right now. So I'm having breakfast and I'm watching videos right now. I'm watching the H3 podcast. But I realized that this is one of the rare moments in the day where I can read. Kind of. It's kind of hard to read and eat at the same time, but I'm still gonna do it. So, and now let's get the book. There we go. And I'm gonna grab pen. I'm currently on lunch break and I once again stopped watching my video podcast for reading. So back to reading this book, but don't worry y'all, I still need to introduce you to yet another book that I've kind of been in a slump in, and hopefully we can change that. So I'll get around to talking more about that soon. Hello, we are back, and I am going to be talking about one of my reading slump books and how I'm trying to get back into it. Okay, so I started reading the Iliad by Homer a couple of months ago, okay? And I also started filming a video about it, just documenting my process, documenting me, just getting into it, being confused, and what I learned about. And then I stopped. And I think there are multiple reasons for stopping. One, I guess I was just not really that interested because I know what happens, and I don't know, there wasn't anything really pulling me towards the end. Something was actually stopping me and making me stall, which is because I read The Song of Achilles. I'm really attached to that main character, and I just don't really want to read about what happens, even though I do want to. So I kind of lost motivation on this, but I just want to finish it. I really want to finish it. So I think now I'll just dive back in, set myself some goals. When I'm struggling to get through something, I mark little tabs for milestones. So let's say for each chapter, and then I tell myself, I don't know, it's a little motivating to know, like, I need to get to the next tab. Anyways, this is the reading slump situation. So it's my lunch break right now. I have 30 minutes. So I'm going to set a timer because sometimes I read longer and then my dog's walk is shorter, which is not acceptable. Okay, we need to stay on schedule. I'm gonna put the timer on and try to get back into this. I don't want my reading slump to overshadow the greatness of this piece of art, okay? It's not that difficult to read, and I think especially once you get used to how this book is written, it's fun to read. And something that also makes it more fun for me is highlighting things and writing notes and really focusing on the atmospheric / just nature descriptions, which I find are nice in here, with all of the, what are they called again? Symbolisms or whatever. Yeah, so let me see. Right now, I think I'm in chapter 13. So let's see who was fighting who and whether the gods are mingling with the humans' lives. What? Why are we talking about black-skinned beans and chickpeas? That is so random. So besides reading, what I've also been doing when I'm not creating videos or taking photos is working on a project that I'm planning to share with y'all by the end of this year, for which I've been creating a website right now with Squarespace, and here are a couple of reasons why. First of all, whether you sell physical or digital products, a very obvious hint. Squarespace makes it easy for creators like myself to monetize my content and my expertise in a way that fits me best. So for example, you can create a member area where your customers and your followers can get access to gated content like videos, online courses, and newsletters. Speaking of newsletters, that is one feature I'm setting up right now, my mailing list, so that I can reach the people who are interested in my products and keep them up to date on my website content. And of course, an important feature to me at least is that I can connect my social channels. Squarespace makes it super easy that you can display your social media posts on your website and also push your website content to your favorite social media platforms so that your followers can share it there too. If this sounds like what you're looking for, join me over on Squarespace by going to squarespace.com and starting a free trial. And then, important, once you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Yusuf and you can get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain, and we can enjoy having our amazing Squarespace websites at the same time, together. Thank you to Squarespace for working with me, and back to reading. I find myself pretty sweaty and wishing that I had my hat with me, but at the same time, grateful to have made it out here. I've been planning this for a while, and today I was just like, okay, you know what? I need to take a shower. I usually walk my dog when it's dark. Let's go on a sweaty walk. And here we are. The birds are going crazy. So I actually spend most of my day rejuvenating because it's a Saturday, and I was able to finish my book, The Course of Love, and I think I'll talk about that in another moment. But for this moment right here, I did bring a book, and this is a collection of letters, I would say, and texts from Rilke. And one of my favorite booktubers, Amir, sort of speaks highly of this author who is German. I think he's German. Apparently fall is his favorite season, which is Herbst, and I love fall as well. So I was very intrigued to get some vibes. This is another vibe book. So I've actually already started, and I'm not sure if this is one to just go through chronologically or just open a page and see what happens. But isn't this also such a cute cover? I mean, I definitely did plan the aesthetics of this shot right now, but I mean, this little spot and this book together just sort of promise a moment of magic. But to be frank, it's not going to be a long moment of magic because the ground is super muddy and I'm sweating. I don't want to get a sunburn. Let's go. I'm currently trying to find something that would capture a similar moment like I have right now. O hoher Baum des Schauens, der sich entlaubt. Nun wird sein ganzes Innere zur Straße des Himmels. Nun wird sein ganzes Innere zur Straße des Himmels. Einsamkeit ist wie ein Regen, der steigt vom Meer den Abenden entgegen. Von Ebenen, die fern sind und entlegen, geht sie zum Himmel, der sie immer hat. Und erst vom Himmel fällt sie auf die Stadt. Der vergangene Knabe und dehnt sich seine Wurzeldrang verlor in Traurigkeiten unseres Saums. Wellengefühle suchen nach Bezug, trösten sich im Offenen als Fahne. it is lunchtime. I mean, after lunch, it's 1 p.m. And I'm seriously switching my French habit to this spot. I just need, I just need this reading time right now in my life. Let's talk about this. The Course of Love by Alain de Botton. How I would describe this would be, it's a fictional love story that focuses not just on the beginning of love, that is meant to show the intricacies of what it means to be in love, what it means to be in a relationship, and it touches on several topics like marriage, children, fights, infidelity, and through this story of these characters, of these main characters we have, the author inserts their own wisdoms and sort of objective pieces of advice, I would say, according to the topics. And in the beginning, coming from reading a book like this, which is research-based and anecdote-based, I had to get used to it because it was just one person's opinion. But by the end of it, I really enjoyed it. It was like, okay, I'm continuing to read the story, which kept me going. You kind of wanted to see how this love story plays out. And at the same time, you were learning things, and you sort of had this narrator to sort of, after reading something happening with the couple, you would sort of think, okay, what is he gonna say about this now? And it was fun to read for me in that way, and also learn things. Maybe because I also found more things towards the second half of the book that were interesting to me. So I did tab a couple of moments and highlight things. I think I'm going to extract my most important notes from this book into my Notion as well, just so I can remember all the little anecdotes and things that I learned about love, about these people's love story. Another fact connecting to when I introduced this book actually also talks a little bit, like a tiny bit at the end, about attachment theory, which I was a fan of. So that was Der Lauf der Liebe, another book done. Back to this one, I haven't actually finished writing my notes and my summary in my Notion, which is something that I like to do, especially for self-help books and things I want to remember. I'm also considering to create my second brain sort of system in Notion, or in, what's it called? No, I forgot what it's called. This other one. It makes a lot of sense to me to collect pieces of knowledge and create connections between other pieces of knowledge that you have collected during another time of your life, and sort of making these bridges to understand life more and the world more. That's super interesting to me. And with that approach, I have enjoyed taking notes from my books. I can maybe give you an insight into how my notes look for attached. I feel like my system is pretty simple. I basically structure my notes according to the chapters, create toggles, and basically just process everything that I want to remember from a book, writing them in my own words, sort of creating the connections that I make in my brain with things I already know. I love studying books this way, and hopefully I'll be able to remember and learn from them better. Okay, I think this is going to be my last reading update. So yesterday, I'm happy to report that I actually managed to get in some reading before bed, and I think I'm getting back into this. I'm really enjoying the story. We're slowly, ramping up the intensity as we pass the middle of the book. So I have read until chapter 15. And what I want to talk about is, here again, for a book like this, it helps me a lot to work with taking notes and reading summaries. So this version actually, this is the translation by Martin Hammond. I think it's pretty good. I don't really have any reference to compare it to. I've heard other recommendations. I haven't really heard this recommendation, but I do like the Penguin Classics books. And this intro specifically does also include summaries for each chapter. So I usually go in sort of packages of 2 chapters. I read the summaries in here, and then I head over to SparkNotes, and I've been taking notes on the characters and what's happening, just so I don't lose the thread, because it's kind of easy to do that with all of the detailed descriptions of so many characters. Sometimes I'm like, okay, what is happening again? Okay, which god is interfering right now? Okay, what is the actual source of all of these problems? And I'm like, oh, it's Achilles. Okay, it's the anger of Achilles. Oh, that's still influencing all of this? That's insane. But it also kind of makes a story. So that's something I will do right now, sort of catch up my notes. And after doing that for every 2 chapters, I feel ready to dive back in and continue the story. That has really been helping me, especially because I started this book with a rough knowledge about the turnout of the Trojan War, but really confused about the sides, the main characters, and just the flow of the story, how it would develop. We do have a cloudy day, so I apologize for the lighting changes. That was another book I'm reading right now. To end this video, I thought I would talk about some of my reading plans, and here y'all could also let me know if you want to see more reading vlogs, and then I could share the books that I ordered a couple of days ago. And right now I'm just going to share the books that I have that I also want to read. I'm not really setting myself time limits. I do want to finish Rilke and Amir in November, which is right around the corner. These 2 I got, I think, last month. And let's start with this one. This book, y'all, I thought it was going to be a fatty, and I was kind of excited for it. I wanted to continue my excursion of ancient Greek literature and authors, so I watched a couple of videos. This was a recommendation because it's one of the first romance novels that intrigued me. It is by Longus, Daphnis and Chloe, and it is not that fat, which I was kind of disappointed by because this version was 20 bucks, which I don't know if I would have gotten this if I knew how little this is. But nonetheless, I'm a little sad about it. I hope it's not going to ruin my reading experience. So hopefully I'll get around to this and continue on my journey, as I said. And then here we do have a true fatty, okay? I don't know why I'm gravitating towards the Penguin Classics editions recently, but what I found is that usually there are some good intros or that add context, sometimes historical context or context about the author. So for this one, East of Eden by John Steinbeck, I got this version. I'm intrigued. I'm also a little scared, but I am optimistic that this can be a good book. I feel like it would really fit into this season right now. And so I'm kind of hyped to get into this. But actually, I might make it a prerequisite for me to finish this one first. You know, you're definitely recognizing how I read so many books at the same time. I just cannot really be stopped, which is why I kind of try to control myself. So hopefully these 2 beautiful pieces are going to be read. I need to burp in my next reading vlog. That would be so much fun, so let me know. I think this is the end of the video. I kind of don't want it to be because I'm having a lot of fun talking about the books I've been reading, the books I want to read, how I work with my books, we've sort of spoken about all of these, which I've had a lot of fun tabbing as well and taking notes on. Again, let me know if you want to see more of this. Make sure to check out my Squarespace link if you are looking to create a website for a project you're working on or something you're selling. And thank you so much for being here. Hopefully I'll see you in another reading vlog soon, and otherwise I'll definitely see you around. Until then, peace.